Daniel Allison, the average dude. Can you hear me, Freddie Blank?
You know what? Eventually, I was able to hear you. I think you shock your system. You shock your computer system when you come out with so much energy.
I think so. I think so. And hey, it's so good to be back in the game. I just saw a dog pop into the frame. Did I just see a dog pop into the frame?
There's, let's see.
Look at that. Look at that doggy. Is that a good doggy right there, Fred?
Best dog I've ever had.
Oh man, that makes me want a dog. It makes me want a dog. Hey, you know what? When life throws you technical difficulties, be a technician. Let's go. Paul Pappy. Let's go. Great to see Paul Pappy. I was thinking about Paul Pappy, and we're going to talk about Paul Pappy here in a second.
Yeah.
Welcome back, boys. Hey, Larry, it was so difficult. Tell them how upset I was yesterday when I didn't have the bus riders and I didn't have my LinkedIn. Tell them what happened yesterday.
It was just short of tears. That's all I can say. I had to talk Daniel off the cliff.
Oh man.
I had to let him know. We snapped the ball.
My people.
We still did the show.
Yeah.
The replay's available. This stuff happens.
Hey, you know what? I love Joe because Joe will call me out on things too. He says, I got to put this up. Is it Daniel looks like he's got a bird cage? Hey, you know what? It is. It does look like a bird cage. And I never actually sit in that piece of furniture. It's one of those things where you think, should I really have gotten that?
Yeah. Well, I could sit in this and journal.
And swing. Good morning. Good morning, Gary. Great to have Gary here.
Gary was here yesterday, and Paul the Papster.
Yes, they were. And we had some folks that showed up for the bus ride. We weren't here for the bus. The bus had already taken off with the technical difficulties. But I did want to kind of talk about, and I think I'm gonna make this a little bigger.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. I know it's a little hard. Sorry, put your sunglasses on, folks. What I wanted to say is the consistency of doing this every single day. It kind of reminds me of something that Coach Cignetti said with Indiana. Let's run every single play, regardless of score, the exact same way.
Which is what?
Every day, I want to be intentional about the way I start the day.
Yeah.
And so first see it keeps me accountable. I told someone yesterday, you remember the old school radio, when you listen to Rock 101.1 or 99.9 or 93.3, The Planet. But on those stations, you have to be dialed in. You know when you're listening to 93.3 because you don't hear the Rise guys in the morning unless you're on that station, on that frequency. And so it's very granular. And so when we're here every single day and I'm with Freddie, some days my energy might be up here, some days it's down here, but why? Why did it change? You think, oh, it doesn't matter, but we think about it and then we make adjustments.
So what gets you going on Saturday and Sunday?
You know what? I was just thinking, I was trying to really give you a good answer. And I like F3 on Saturdays, right? Getting out, moving my body. This morning, I stayed up late, didn't watch the game. I watched the game, stayed up late, didn't work out this morning.
I noticed.
And believe
it or not, I was the only human at the workout with shorts on.
I can believe that. Now you were bundled up and had your ears covered though.
Ears and hands covered.
Yeah. Let's see what some of these comments are. Hey, there's Sophia. Great to see you here. Love to have new bus riders. Somebody says 6'7".
Scouting outdoors, baby.
Let's go. When running a system as effective as in Indiana, you know how important consistency and focus can be. What an absolutely fantastic game. I was thinking, I talked to Paul Pappy yesterday, and then I talked to Paul last night. Of course, we know Dr. Brad Hughes. I thought about him in Indiana. I know he was there and he was celebrating. Uh, but winners and losers. You've refed a lot of basketball. You've watched a lot of sports. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. What comes to mind when you think about Miami, the game they played, and how hard is that to take?
Yeah, well, as long as Miami knows they left everything on the field, it is what it is. Because going into the game, you know there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. Is it a hard pill to swallow when you lose? Absolutely, because months of work, dedication, determination, just like showing up here 7:55 Monday through Friday.
Yes, sir. Now let me ask you this. What about losing a game on the ref's call, right? Losing the game on the ref's call. We had that in the Bills game. And a lot of folks pointed to that. And I'd love to hear, I haven't talked to Larry. I'd love to hear what Larry says about the Bills loss, about that call. In my mind, bang, bang play. I get that there's ambiguity and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to get off the sports here in a second. But I do think that in that play, I think the defender in the air, he had his arm kind of inside, but it's still a bang, bang play, right? But in my mind, it was an interception. The right thing in that play was called. However, I don't like games that are decided on questionable plays like that. That's one call. They could have kicked the field goal. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but I wanted to say it.
You can't take that loss and put it on that one play. Did the Bills fumble a couple times? The answer is yes. Did they miss a couple blocks?
Yeah.
Yes. Did their DBs get beat a couple times?
That's right.
As easy it is to say this play right here, that's just part of the game. That's
part of the game.
Play. Yeah. Next play.
That's right. And so I think that goes back to what Signetti was talking about. Line up. It doesn't matter what the score is. I don't care where we're at. We're going to do the same thing every single day. I think that's good for us from a business standpoint, from a personal development standpoint, and from keeping our mind right.
And Paul made a great point. Carson Beck has been in college football for 17 years. I hate he didn't get a ring. And Larry, yes, sir. They should have slowed that game down, reviewed that play. Could have been a different outcome. Jacob, what's up, Jacob?
Do we got Jacob on the bus?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Oh, good morning, my positive friends. Missed you all yesterday. Missed you, Jacob. Love having everybody's smiling face.
We got Carl Punt riding today.
I love it. I want to go back to what Larry said, because he said, catch or not, it should have been reviewed. I think that's what's painful, right? This is a big deal for us. We've been following the Bills, folks that are big Bills fans like Larry. We've been following the Bills all year long. Let's at least look at it, think about it, and show me that you get that it's close. Was a close play. The Rise guys over iHeartRadio and Ellison Bradley on Whistle 100. Oh, that explains a lot, Daniel. Oh,
by the way, if you want to be on the radio with some advertising, get a hold of Carl.
There you go. There you go. I love that. And now what I would say, he could probably break down personality types by the station in which they listen to, because that's part of what the deal is, right? You're selling something that appeals to this group. So that's always interesting, isn't it? Speaking of jobs, you know what I want to know? What was your first job?
You ready for this? Now you talking about a real W-2, right? Because my dad built houses, so there's many times I had a broom and a wheelbarrow or a hammer.
Right.
Lawnmower, weed eater. You get what I'm saying?
Let's talk W-2. Let's talk. You're walking into something as a young man. Let's think of what was it?
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bilo 221, Whitney, South Carolina.
Oh, Fred was over at that 221 mile. I'm going back in time and I remember that place, man. Uh, Tell me about the first day on the job. The first day on the job, what was that like? Do you remember? Time machining. I love the time machine. You know that.
Well, your first day on the job, you want to do good, right? Am I putting too many groceries in the bag? Am I putting enough in the bag? May I help you out to your car with your groceries? Will I get a tip?
Am I doing it right? Y'all have been doing this thing called grocery store running, right? Y'all been running this store without me.
Grocery store run? Is that okay?
Imagine this store, running this store. You know, you're selling groceries. You've got it all figured out, and along comes Fred, and now I've got to fit into this team, and I've got to do something. Am I doing it right? You know, am I doing it right? And as we go, every time, that first day on any job, right? The first day on any job. Do you remember your first day 20 something years ago at Bobcat? You remember?
Yes, I knew that I had made a mistake.
Did you?
The first thing I thought was, oh Lord, I have made a mistake.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was wrong.
What's that?
I was wrong.
You thought it was a mistake because of what we're talking about, right? I mean, I don't know the answer to this. Why did you think it was a mistake, Fred?
The group that had the dealership had basically, Bobcat had taken it away. They could not run the dealership. They didn't have the capital. So a new group had taken over in November. That's who I went to work for. This was April, and the place was a mess. I mean, they were still scrambling to get it back up.
Wow. Oh.
So when you talk about somebody who went from the bottom, when I got there, it was at the bottom.
So as a salesperson coming in, your first day, you're on the job, first there, it's not going well. You have a better appreciation for the operation side, I would say.
Well, I was not sales when I first went there. As a matter of fact, I spent my first couple weeks washing parts bins by hand, wiping them out, learning the parts, putting them where they'll go, stocking inventory. Miserable.
Hey, I'll tell you a funny story real quick here. My first day on the job, I worked for a guy named Todd Crawford. Some of you folks may know him if you're from around here, but he owned a grading company, still around in town. I had never been in the grading business. He explained to me what he needed me to do, and him and a guy named Ashley, they ended up hiring me. I came on as an estimator, business development type person. I said, man, this is going to be cool. I got an office job. I got a truck. I got all these cool toys. I'm going to learn something new. First day on the job. You know what he did, Fred?
Gave you a shovel?
He took me out to a job site. And I got out of the truck and I thought he was going to be getting out. He said, I'll see you in a couple of hours. and I walked over to the group. I mean, I was like, you know, it was my first, I was courage. Here they were working on this job site. I didn't know what in the world was going on. And so I walked over to the guys that were running the site. He didn't even tell them. I walked over and I had to introduce myself, and I had to he wanted them to break me in, and then he came and picked me up, and then we started, and I started having a little more fun after that.
Well, aren't you better off for it today?
Absolutely. Look, what he taught me, and I learned a lot during that time period. It's got me still watching construction to this day. I love watching it because once you start to understand it, and that's why I know from my own experience that first thing, what I wanted to talk about today, whether it's your first job, your first whatever, your first sales call, your first call today, you might get a little nervous. You might need to have a little courage depending on who you call.
Yeah. Well, you think about that fourth down last night. The courage for Cignetti to put it in his quarterback's hand and say, "Go get it."
Oh God! Did they have that play in the back pocket and they just said, if we get this opportunity, we're gonna spread everybody out and say, he just said, just hold it. Great call, great day, Fred.
Hey, but without looking in the comments,
Yeah.
what was V-Dub's first job?
Oh man, wait a minute.
And there's one of these in Spartanburg, a shop, a few of them, and one's been here a long time.
Her first job in Spartanburg. There's one that's here. It's been here a long time. What is it?
She was a donut girl.
Donut girl. Let's go. All right. Hey, we want pictures of your first job. If you got pictures of your first job, I guess maybe you on your first job. That'd be kind of interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see them. What was Larry's first job? That's what I want to know.
Larry, what was your first job? We need to see it in the comments. We'll have to go look at it a little later. Fred, he just drank his last cup of coffee and he's ready to rock and roll, folks. Hey Fred, I'm gonna make a call today. I know I'm gonna look through my phone. I don't know who I'm gonna call, but I did this yesterday and I called the right person. I'm gonna do it again today.
Do it again today. Let's all do it. Let's have the courage to do it. Jacob.
Hey, y'all have a fantastic day. We will see you tomorrow. And let's roll.